Hi everybody, I'm Lacey Shane, founder and CEO of Real Women, Real Success. Welcome to this week's blog video where we're going to be talking about women competing in the workplace and what you can do about it. I've already done a video on this, so I'm not going to cover the same ground. I did a video on this in November called Why Women Compete and What You Can Do About It, and it has been my most successful video to date. I've been out on the speaking circuit talking about activating the 5 innate female strengths for success that I've been talking to you about in my book, Keys to Conscious Business Growth. In fact, you can get a free copy of this book on my website just for the cost of shipping and handling. And I write about those strengths in this book. I'd love to give it to you for free. Anyway, in my travels in talking publicly about these strengths, I'm hearing more and more about the competitive nature of women in the workplace. And the reason I did that initial video in November is because I have certainly experienced that competitive nature of women in the workplace. And I don't want to go over what I went over in that video. There's a lot of great information in it. I encourage you to go watch it and then use this video and this information as a follow-on to that. But the stories keep coming. I've just 3 examples of recent discussions I've had with women. One who's very high level in her organization, works for the CEO of her organization, has a man competing with her at the same level as her. I've certainly experienced that, to have women competing with you and then also a man on top of it. Gosh, talk about getting it from all sides, and she definitely has that situation. But she has had a really smart approach that is going to be something I'm going to share with you later on in the video. I also talked to a woman who has runs a support group for women herself and has an email list and hundreds of women involved and really putting her heart and soul into helping women succeed, and had one of the women that is being benefited by her program actually sort of hijack her email list to start a competing group, which is disheartening, without telling her, without reaching out and saying, hey, I'm thinking of doing this, or hey, I want to start something new and I'll make it different than yours. I'm all for competition. We live in a free market country, and it's part of what it means to live in the United States. Competition makes companies better, makes organizations better as we strive to really serve our customers in the best possible way. So I'm all for competition. But when you're on the same team, there is a destructive nature to that for all women. And, if you're going to go out and directly compete with another woman, maybe there's an ethical way to approach her and let her know and not utilize her platform to do it. I also talked to another young woman who just graduated from college and got into the workplace, and her friend got a job there too, who also just graduated from college, and their friendship gradually diminished because her friend started heavily competing with her for the plum projects and cozying up to the boss, which I don't think it's a bad thing to build a great relationship with your boss, but in so doing, undermining her friend. And so her very brilliant friend is or my very brilliant contact that I was talking to is being undermined by her friend in the workplace. So it doesn't have any age limitations. It doesn't have any professional realm limitations. And again, go back to that November video, really great information to hear more about why it is that women might be doing this to each other and why it's so detrimental, because we need all ships to rise and we need to be supporting each other to claim our higher levels of leadership and make our contribution to the world. But there is one more thing to add to the conversation, and what reminded me about it was this one woman I'm telling you about who has been so smart about engaging one of the 5 innate strengths to help protect herself from the damaging impacts of the competition she's experiencing. Sure, it's disheartening, sure, it's exhausting, but she has been protected, and that is because she has engaged the 3rd innate skill that women have, which is leveraging. And again, I just finished a 5-part video series on those 5 strengths, so go look up leveraging so that you can get the step-by-step on how that works and how I believe that's an innate skill that you have. But how she has leveraged is she has leveraged her key relationships to surround herself and protect herself from this competitive behavior. Now, it's not that she didn't have to deal with it. My understanding is that she did go approach this individual And boy, talk about character. She conveyed to me a very intelligent and thoughtful way that she asked this individual if there was something she was doing to bring out this behavior or that made him uncomfortable that she could address to make their teamwork work a little bit better. What a mature way, full of character, handling it that way, but at the same time was very smart in leveraging her key relationships to make sure she was surrounded by all the support she needed so that she would not be undermined. And that's what I want you to think about. Not only from the first video that I talked about, can you develop a group or a culture of professional besties in your work environment. And I know work environments typically don't have something like that. I suggest that you build it in your work environment. A club of professional besties that are committed to certain ethical standards and certain character behaviors and supporting each other as much as possible in the workplace so that all women can succeed. But also add to that the leveraging, building the key influencer relationships that will protect you when those jealous and intentional or even unintentional competing women start to surround you with their negative and destructive behaviors. It really can protect you. I can tell you that I have experienced the benefits of leveraging. Hand in hand with leveraging is giving. That's the first female strength. So I would suggest that you watch the leveraging video and the giving video because those go hand in hand to build the lifeline relationships you need to protect yourself. And if you can do that, then I think you'll find that although you may not be able to completely eliminate the competitive behavior, you'll have a strategy for dealing with it to protect yourself. If any of this isn't clear, send me an email, Lacey@LaceyShane.com. My email will be down below as well if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're not already part of my Professional Bestie Club, please join and go to my website to get a free copy of my book. I hope this was helpful for you today. I'm really committed to this topic of women competing in the workplace and creating a new trend of women supporting women. In fact, I'd like to announce to you right now that I'm going to be starting an interview series where I'm going to be getting on camera a number of women and talking about this issue of women competing in the workplace, what we can do about it, and how to build that stamina and character that starts to build that new culture in workplaces of women supporting women rather than competing. Because when we compete, all ships sink. Nobody wants to get in the middle of a cat fight, and nobody wants to be in the middle of something that's incredibly unproductive. And we want to build a community like men have done for so many years with their Good Old Boys Club and men supporting men. Men do it really well. So let's us women start to build that community as well, and hopefully all ships rise. So I want you to remember that I'm your biggest fan. I hope you go out there and have a great week, and I'm going to look forward to talking to you next week.